Hey everybody, it's Chris here in Georgia. I'm going to do my third video, and we've been gone for a few weeks, cruising around Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont. Glad to be back. So I just thought I'd show you the pleasure I get when I go over to my little sanctuary, which my wife and I call the slot car room. So these are the two doors I got to go through. I went ahead and turned on the lights. Walk through this little walkway. Over there's the mountain up, and over there's the mountain down. Anyway, so here we go. This is my little sanctuary, the slot car room. So I'll give you a little overview. I got a storage space here. That's my friend's cigar box. He smokes cigars, I don't. Isn't that a cool cigar box? His cars are in there. Got a TV. There's the track. Today we're going to go through cars. This little overview. There's where I can do some work. Supplies. More supplies. More storage stuff. Another work table down here. Underneath there's the big hall. I'll do a separate video on that my brother-in-law gave me from his 1960s track. Got a TV for when the Masters is on. So, with all that being said, I'm gonna go through my little car collection. You know, I didn't think I was a collector until I hit about 20, 25 cars, and I kept wanting to buy more, and I thought, I think I'm becoming a collector. So anyways, I've got a few that I really enjoy, and I'm gonna cover them with you today. So here's my coolest collection. I really like these guys. These are all the Porsche Can-Am cars that I have. There's 8 of them. A couple of them are from Japan only sets. And when I bought them, they had never seen the track. So that's why they're so pristine. They're a Tycho HP7 chassis. So they're pretty cool. And they're clean as a whistle underneath. I don't run them all that often, but they now have all been on the track. That right there, that is an original 1960s Aurora Thunderjet 500. It won't go around the track because of that little bridge right there. The handmade one. But anyways, so now starting with my little collection, all these cars I keep right here, these are all not the year of that the slot car was made, but the body year of the vehicles are all pre-1960. They go from 1929, this Woody, old 4-gear AFX car, up to a 1959 Chevy Impala. And some ages in between. 50s T-Bird. Got all the Chevys, the Nomads and Bel Airs, Ford truck, a 49 Mercury, hot rod, right there. That's pretty cool. This is good. The only chassis I have of this type, it's a Dash Mondo chassis. And I had to put that in there to keep the body from moving. That's a pretty cool car. So there's those, and we're gonna run a few cars today. Then I come over here, and these are my F1s. Or this one they call, it's AFX, it's new this year, a Formula N. But these are pretty cool. I have 2 of them. These are Auto World Super 3s. It's the only one that they had with an inline motor, dual motor magnets. These things are pretty good, except they had a gear problem. So somebody said, I think it was that slot car guy, that's the name of his channel, to swap out the gear set with Lifelike, which I did, and that helped tremendously. And then these two here, that one and this one, are the ones that came with the set, the Giant Raceway. And then this one, I got it on an auction up at Pro Tinker Toys. They have auctions and race nights every Thursday. They do live streams. This thing is faster than anything else I have. And then I'll sit here for a second. This is where I sit, by the way. That's my little command center. I sit there. My buddy who does race sometimes sits over there. I can get at my cars. I can turn the powers on. He has his own transformer for his lane and his own controller, obviously, because he likes to run 5-6 cars at a time. He's a bigger kid than I am. And with one transformer, when he let off on the juice, mine would shoot like it came out of a slingshot. So over here, I got this little, get it open. This little box here, it's got some supplies. It's got, I keep my little oiler in there, right here. It's got a run-up tool, which I don't hardly use. Screwdriver, big eraser to erase the shoes. A smaller eraser if I want to erase the track. Some Q-tips, etc. And then these cars out front are just, as you'll see around here, all my walls are angled. You know? So I can't really, other than that wall, but it's already taken up. Because of the angles, I can't really put shelves up. So I got to keep it down here or get some ground level shelves. Let me turn on my cool little thing here. There's my drive-in movie sign. This is actually the people that lived here left that thing. And boy, how fitting it is to have that here in a slot car room. Isn't that cool? All right. So back over here. I'm trying to keep it so it's not too long. So these are just some random cars. This is a Tycho, an old 440, Magnum 440. This is a Jaguar I made for my wife. It's a replica of the first car her dad ever bought for her when she went away to college. Spoiled little brat. Anyways, it's got a Jag Hobbies TR3 chassis underneath it, and I painted it that color, which she picked out to match her own. So that was fun. These are a couple of Auto World exclusives, like this one. These are exclusives from Pro Tinker Toys. It's an extraction chassis. It's Ford GT, as is that one. That was a pit kit that you build yourself. But the cool thing about Brian's exclusives, although Auto World has some suspect quality control, the bodies are pretty nice. But Brian's exclusives come in these great little boxes. It tells you what the car is, which is pretty nice. Especially if you're going to display these on a shelf. But a lot of these are exclusives. Here's the one. This guy here, if you join his club, you pay a little monthly fee. It's not that much. You get 10% off everything there. And you get a free car every year. And this was the 2022 car. A Nomad. I think it's 56. But these are all exclusives that came from Pro Tinker Toys that he's had made. And he's got one coming out every month next year. Here's a nice little 57. So those are nice, and that's why I buy the Autocolor cars that he has, because they come out nice and I like them. And then these here, some of these three, were original model motoring Thunderjets. But they're over here because they have newer chassis. That's a Auto World T-Jet chassis. This one had the wheel wells carved out, so I just cleaned them up and I put a Jag Hobbies TR3 chassis in it. And then this one, it's got an Auto World Thunderjet chassis in it. But the bodies are in great shape. These came out of that load that my brother-in-law sent me. So moving on, and these two cars here are on these little pedestals with mirrors. I put for some reason, I don't know, I have one or two cars that, I like looking at, or I've worked on them or something, and those are just my highlight cars for myself, personally. And down this row, well, okay, these are drag cars here. These are all Auto World 4-gear chassis. They're all drag cars. Then you get up in here to the stock cars. This one's a Pro Tinker Toys exclusive. Got the logo on the side. They're good looking vehicles. And if you tweak them right, they don't run too bad. These here, I just bought because they were only $19 at Hobby Lobby. And if I need a chassis for one of the old bodies that I have, I use one of these. Now these came from my brother-in-law. These are old AFX non-magnet cars. These have been around a while. There are two of the 43s and then this one. I think this was a Magnasonic car when it came out, which means it made a louder noise. But it's just got a regular old non-magnet AFX chassis in it. And then this is an old AFX magnet traction car with a flamethrower. It's got headlights. That's kind of cool. And that's the same thing, only without headlights. And then this is Antique Row. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, but all the cars on this row are from the 60s, and I have spent time reconditioning them and refurbing them and getting them back into working order. Only two of these cars actually had a chassis underneath it. The rest I built from parts. But the bodies are all in good shape. The chassis is all cleaned up nice. This is one of my faves. This Charger. It's in good shape. And I like this Buick Riviera. You see, I like Krager wheels. Sorry, I can't help it. I grew up in the 60s and 70s. This is my Thunderbird. Pro Tinker auctioned one of these off, and as Tim over at Pro Tinker, he says, it's got the windshield with the visors and everything. And then these are a couple. This one had, this chassis was underneath this car in its original holder. It's an AMX. I did change them out for Krager wheels. But I have that one, this one, and two more bodies that I just haven't built up yet. So that's been fun. And these are a couple of Tycho Pro, old Tycho Pros. They got the little wipers. See that? That's a plastic one, missing the spoiler. And then there's this one. This one's supposed to have a brass bottom on it, but it didn't fit right, so I took it off. So, there's that. That's my garage. So if ever I'm working on a car or playing with it and it doesn't work right, and it needs something done, I just stick it over here, and then it'll go over there to the work area and get work done. So let me set this up here, and we'll run a few cars. I'm going to show you a few things. Let's see if I can get the best view of the track for you. That looks about right. We'll try that. We're at 14 minutes. I gotta hurry this up. So, I'm going to set my track voltage with my little track cube that I use. Set that up for 15 volts. Now I want to show you something about Auto World. And again, I don't want to bash anybody, but they just need to quality control some of their stuff. These are both running on extraction chassis. So it's the same chassis, different bodies. All right, so we're going to run this one around. And I'll let you see it. Now I'm at 15 volts, and I got the trigger fully depressed. That's as fast as this extraction chassis wants to go. Obviously, if I go up to 18 volts, it'll go better. But, so there, that's this Nomad. Okay. Now, I'm going to run this Pro Tinker exclusive Bel Air. It's a cool car. I think it's a 56 or a 55, one of the two. Now watch this car go. You know, I see the difference. I'm only got the trigger half pulled. And there is the difference in two of the exact same chassis. So, that's enough of that. Now I wanted to show you this guy. You know, this has a number 2 marked on the bottom in the little clear window. And when I was up there, there's this guy named Ted that goes and frequents the Pro Tinker Toys in Wayne, Ohio quite a bit. He's from Michigan. He goes by the moniker of U of M Hockey, but his name's Ted, and he knows a ton about slot cars. And so he was looking at this one, plus a few others that came out of this lot that the owner bought. And there were some 2s, 3s, 4s, and 6s. More 6s than anything. And he narrowed it down to that's probably the ohms of the armature that's in here. So at a 2 ohm armature, this thing should be blazing. And well, just listen to it. I can tell you right now, you can't give that full throttle, but watch this little sucker go. A little too fast. I mean, because I don't have a lot of straights, I have a lot of turns in this layout, obviously. You have to drive the cars. Unless you put them at 8 volts. And once you figure out the speed you can handle. So you can see, well, made it right back home. And then I'm going to show you one more car. This is the Jag Hobbies chassis. Listen to that. This has some serious downforce in the magnets. I know it's a dark car, kind of hard to see. But this thing just flies around the track. There you go, you got to see my face. My wife keeps telling me to put my face on here. Here's another Jag Hobbies chassis I put in this old 60s Aurora body. It's light so you can see it. Let's look at the speed of this thing. Because this track does have a lot of curves. Alright. Now, I need to come over here and show you the rest of my cars. So in here, this is where I have all my AFX cars. Obviously, I like the Ford GTs. This is a new release this year, as is this copper one. These things are just amazingly beautiful and fast. These are just street cars. And then I got the Audis, which are these are just amazingly gorgeous cars. And the real ones these look just like the real ones. You can't have a collection without a 60s vet or a Boss Mustang. And this one is a Ford GT pit kit. You build it. I mean, a paintable car. I just got this last week. It showed up just after I got home, so I gotta do some work with that. But I want to see, for you guys that know these two cars, and see if you can see the difference between those two cars. This one's original. So what happened is the first car I ordered showed up with no tailpipes. So I got a hold of AFX and they said, "Oh, we're so sorry. That's the way it's supposed to look. There's the tailpipe." And they sent me out a body that day. I had it 2 days later. I mean, what great customer service. So I put the original chassis here, which has the blue hubs on one side and the red hubs on the other. And I thought, you know what? I had two black GTs, and I wanted to swap out this one with the gold rims, with blue and red. So that's why those two look different. So, anyway, so that being said, I'm about at 22 minutes. I didn't want to go over 20. Because I don't know about you guys, but when if I pull up an hour and a half long video, I'm probably going to watch 15, 20 minutes of it. But that's just me. So that's the view of my cars. I wanted to share my joy and fun as I come over here to my little sanctuary. And I get to look at stuff, and I get to play with stuff, and I get to race stuff. And it's just been a great time. The next video I'm going to talk in length about these original 60s Thunderjets and the haul that I got from my brother-in-law, which is just amazing. I'm going to go through all the stuff I got from him. And now that it's cooling down up here, I don't know about down there, we're getting ready to start our rainy season. I'm going to be doing some work on the track. I started putting some of the new fences that AFX makes. There's one right there. Looks a lot better than that old Tycho one from the 80s. So I've got some fencing to replace and some guardrails to replace, but also I'm tired of all this grass. So probably from the grandstands there over to about where that corner of that curve is hitting that track and down, I'm going to put cork that kind of looks more like dirt. I did it over here in the helicopter cop car area just to see what it would look like. Then I can add little shrubs and things, and with cork I could stand stuff on it. You can't with this. Things fall over because it's ripply. So that's some of the things I'm going to be doing to this track. So, oh, and here's the new guardrails. Here's the new fences. And I just take some of the AFX stickers and put them down here. It comes with your stuff sometimes. And here's their new guardrails, which are slightly higher than the old style. But you see those little clips? They're on each end. They clip right to this fencing. So it's continuous. It's almost seamless. And it's a little bit more realistic. So that being said, I'm at 25 minutes. It's time to say goodbye. Thanks everybody for stopping by and listening to my videos. Well, hopefully you got entertained or just had some fun, because that's what this is all about. It's just coming here and having a little bit of fun. That's why I'm here in my slot car room. Thanks again, and see you on the next one. Oh, by the way, a lot of these cars, especially the AFX cars, have different magnets in it that came. They come with what's called level 32 magnets on the bottom. Those two little squares right there. Well, level 30, it's adequate. Then they make level 42, which for my track works great. They hold the track better, and you can almost see a decrease in speed time, or an increase. It takes less time to get around this track. Now, they make a level 52. But if you want to see some good videos about that, go see Slot Valley Racing. And his name is Dan. And he's got some great videos on changing the magnets out. And he actually shows you on his super speedway, which is basically 4 corners and 4 big long straights, and he can haul ass. So he shows you how to change them and what the time differences are between level 30, 42, and 52. So there's some other good videos out there. Go see Stockpile Hobbies. I think his name's Steve. His son's Enzo. He's got some good videos. He kind of feels about Auto World the way I do. And go see Scott's House of HO Racing if you want to see a slot car collection. Oh my goodness. It's unbelievable. I wouldn't think anybody would have that many slot cars, or could have that many slot cars. So I'm trying to think of and you got Pro Tinker Toys, of course. That's where I buy a lot of my stuff. And that's it for today. See you next time. Thanks again for stopping.